That's right, 4 retirement savings hacks for people in their 50s.
Hello, my name is John Convery, and Michael and I are delighted to welcome you back to this week's edition of Retire Yesterday, Live Today, where we like to raise your financial awareness, broaden and deepen your literacy to help you with your retirement preparedness so you genuinely have an opportunity to thrive in retirement, not just survive. Right, Mike?
Yes, absolutely. We've been coming to you since early July.
Stirring recipes.
Yes, we've been coming to you with Retire Yesterday, Live Today since early July, and now we got a very special show lined up today. We're going to go over 4 retirement savings hacks.
4.
That's right, 4 retirement savings hacks for people in their 50s, because when you get closer...
That's old dudes like me.
Absolutely.
And you lovely ladies as well, elegant as you are.
Well, he's a little bit closer to 60, but we got 4 retirement savings hacks for people in their 50s, and even if you are in your 60s too, you can utilize some of these hacks as well. Starting with number 1, and many people don't realize this, that is that they can actually get a little help from Uncle Sam, because there are some advantages and some things you can utilize once you are 50.
That's right.
That people don't realize they can to make up a little bit in the retirement savings.
No doubt, folks. We've been seeing the provisions of the new House of Representatives, not healthcare, tax bill, and we know certain aspects, like the House wants to have a 12%, 25 and 35% bracket, 3 brackets consolidated from 7, and a lot of other things. And there's going to be battle skirmishes going on before we ever get a Senate version. But what Michael's talking about, and we're celebrating it, for those of us over age 50 in our 401ks, there was real concern, it was palpable, that they were going to reduce or suffocate the amount you could put in your 401k and squash it to as little as $2,500 a year. Woo! We dodged that bullet. You're still allowed to put the full amount away. For those of you that are fairly highly compensated, that means $18,000 a year pre-tax to get your employer match and beyond, but also a $6,000 a year catch-up, because if you're over 50, statistics show most retirees are behind the curve, which means you may need to accelerate or catch up to really get on to where you need to be destination-wise for your retirement welfare.
Yes, absolutely. You always want to utilize Uncle Sam any which way you can.
Yes.
Exactly. And tip number 2, or the savings hack number 2, is to eliminate your mortgage, because that essentially gives you an instant raise, or you might even look to downsize.
No doubt. I was talking to a gentleman who's getting ready to retire from Nextera FPL, and one of the things that he and I looked at is in 5 years from now, he'll have paid off his mortgage, the 30-year fully amortized loan. So he'll no longer have that principal and interest payment. And you know what that means? That's like a tax-free saving that reroutes back into his wallet or his wife's purse, because at the end of the day, if you're not making a mortgage payment for principal and interest, that's tax-free money you're saving that you can appropriate to enjoying some indulgences in retirement. So keep that in mind as well. Look at ways that you can pay off your mortgage early, and if you're not aware of some of the different concepts that are really breathtakingly simple to do that, that's something we can educate you on.
Yes, absolutely. And the 3rd retirement savings hack for people in their 50s is to get emotional about retirement, because like John just mentioned, you might look to downsize, and if you don't get emotional or really think ahead, you can't figure out what you want the retirement to look like or what sacrifices you might have to make.
Very true. Very, very true, and well said. But the truth is, you know what? There's choices that have to be made as you get to and through retirement. One of them is where you're going to live. Another, maybe what kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Do you enjoy world travel, or would you rather just spend time intimately with your grandchildren before they grow up and fly away, if you know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, Michael raises a very, very key issue here. Thinking about these things through in advance, so important. And these are conversations that we have every day in our advisory practice with clients that really want to be sure and have some certainty that they can thrive in retirement and overcome the biggest concern, which is, John, how do I conquer the fear of outliving my money? See, that's the the defining question that must be answered by this generation of Americans and the epiphany that has to be discovered, and we'd love to help you on your quest to find that.
Yes, and for my generation of Americans, it might just be how to conquer the fear of letting the robots overpower
The
me.
robots, machine learning. Will artificial intelligence beat Gary Kasparov, Deep Blue? You know, that was 20 years ago, 1997, when IBM, the iconic company at the time, which has since been diminished, they had created artificial intelligence in Deep Blue that was able to take Gary Kasparov on, the master chess champion, and basically defeat the Russian in so many moves in 1997. Pretty soon, you know, robots will be in every aspect of our lives. It's going to be kind of fascinating, so stay tuned. We'll all watch it together.
Yes, absolutely. So what's a concern for you folks when it's coming to retirement might not be the same concerns for me. Rolling into
Right.
the fourth retirement savings hack for people in their 50s before we get out of the show is simply to have someone to hold you accountable. And it all starts, if you're going to look for someone to hold you accountable,
Right.
it's likely going to be someone in the financial service industry, and you really want to make sure you have someone that's holding you accountable that is a fiduciary.
Yes.
And many people don't realize what a fiduciary even is.
There's a huge swath in the financial world, all these financial bobbleheads, and I want to make sure you understand the distinction, which we don't have time to get into today, but if you like this show and like it a lot, or get in touch with Michael, however he suggests you do, that would be helpful, because the truth is, very, very important to know this, that at the end of the day, many people still don't know the difference between buying retail brokerage and paying the markup, which means less remains in your pocket, versus dealing institutionally with a fiduciary who's sitting on the same side of the table as you by virtue of registration and disclosure. They have to serve your interests, not the Wall Street brokerage community. So with that in mind, like this show, but also remember this, that you have to have a good coach. It doesn't matter who you are, best athlete in the world, everybody needs a good coach to basically point out your weaknesses, encourage you in your strengths, to double down on those, but also to hold you accountable, right? Because for some reason, you know, when we get out of school, which school only lasts what? 12 years, and it can even be relatively easy, but education should never, ever be out of style. But at the end of the day, very few people, as they get to retirement, have any accountability on the financial dimension of life. When you retire from your employer, you'll have the freedom to spend, go into debt, or live abundantly. Do you have a coach or an advocate that's basically your eyes and ears in the marketplace, looking forward out over the horizon to help you make sure you get where you need to be, and help you just kind of establish some guardrails so you don't go off the reservation, so you have a great life? No one person is an island unto his or herself. You need to have a good coach, and that's something I want to provoke your awareness with and encourage you to pursue.
Yes, absolutely. This has been 4 retirement savings hacks for people.
4 hacks.
Yes,
From
4
a
hacks
non-hacker.
for people in their 50s. We're going to head on out. But remember, you got to like the show down
Like the
below.
show a lot.
I'm going to
Like
let
it.
John close it on
Like it a
out.
lot.
Peace out. I will see you again next time, my friends.
Mike, great to be with you as always. Hey, folks, as I always love to say in finishing or leading out of our program, my paraphrase version of the old Irish prayer. May I share it with you? All righty then. May the sun shine warmly on your face, my friend. May the wind be gently at your back. May the misty low road rise up to meet the high road. And until our paths meet again, my friend, may God anoint you with good health, richly bless you, and have a magnificent day. Goodbye now.